All right, man. Let's get started.
Where's my mother?
Oh Lord.
Mm, Oh, no, I'm sending her an invite to the party, the soiree,
To the pod soiree.
to
Tell,
the padre.
tell her to bring her tap dancing shoes. I did
Mm,
get us caught,
and
man. That's my bad. I didn't think he was gonna go back and watch it last night because he told me he was streaming. So I thought I had time.
well, I got off early due to intimidation
Yeah.
factor, so I had enough time to eat and watch
Yeah.
a VOD.
He had too much fucking time on his hands, chat.
Mm.
We'll blame his second job. That's what
I
it
was
is.
like, oh, Skyrim. I was like, my buddy's playing my favorite game. All right. No, Avi, why you trying to be a little sneak? Hold on. Where's this picture at? Hold
Oh
on.
man, that's so funny, man.
Is this a fedora, y'all? Let's wait. First of all, let me ask because
Put it
Avi
in
is
Discord.
shy.
Put it in Discord. Yeah.
Avi is shy. I don't know if she want her picture out there like that, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna find the hat that she has, and I'm gonna ask if it's a fedora.
Okay, sure. right.
Let me see. Let me see. What hat is that? Mm, 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 mm.
She said you can show the picture.
Oh, because she conceded. Yeah, I forgot about that. Right.
She said, "Hell, show the video." Drop it in Discord, man. You can drop it in Discord. It'd be easiest for everyone to take a look at.
Because I don't classify the fedora got that little extra. I'm telling you, fedoras had that little extra douche to it.
That's okay, Avi. It's alright to be shy, man. Don't let him bully you. Don't let him be a bully. We're not gonna let DC bully
She
you.
can she can grow up is what she can do.
Okay. All right. Let's get started. I'm not gonna do this with you.
We'll look at it later and decide if that's a fedora. Because the fedora is like the one that I sent you this morning.
Don't talk about your weight. That's
And
something
then-
we wouldn't do, man. We don't shame people around here.
Look,
Like,
we don't-
not even as a joke. Like, we don't do that stuff around here.
Yeah, we look. We want people to feel welcome here. We're not trying to scare y'all away.
Yeah. No.
Now we'll joke on each other because we
Yeah.
know each other like that.
Yeah. Known this asshole for long enough. But what's up, Winnie? Yeah, we're about to get started, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out, man. Hello. Welcome to episode 161 of the Super Weapon Podcast, most overpowered podcast on the internet. It's your boy Darius the Artist, and as always, I got my co-host DC here with me today.
It's your boy DC, the bridge builder, wall destroyer, and yes, we are back for another magnificent episode. Blah. I'll try to come in with the hotness. Hold on.
That's all right. Go for it. Yeah, you good. It's all right. We're not gonna cut this from the episode. Let's go.
Take two. This is your boy DC, the bridge builder, wall destroyer, and we are yet here today with another hot episode of Super Weapon Podcast. Bam! Shout out to Pia.
Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
got
man.
it right.
How you guys doing today, man? I hope you guys are having a good week. We're back for another fun week of conversation. A couple of different topics we're gonna be covering today. But before we do that, man, I wanted to check in with my guy DC about the thing he got in the mail this week. The new arcade stick, man. I know you've been playing Street Fighter pretty tough since the release, man. And I will say I'm very proud and happy to see that you are enjoying your time, and now that you've really gotten your feet wet with the arcade stick, because you've had it for a few days now. You know, how do you kind of feel? Do you feel like it's taking your game to the next level? Is it just a new, or just a new thing for you to kind of get used to?
Well, let me. First of all, it feels a lot more accurate. When I'm doing inputs to do moves, it feels a lot more accurate. True indeed. I can do specials a lot easier.
Yeah.
Excuse me, chat. Excuse me, guys. My throat always get extremely dry when we start podding. I swear.
Yeah.
But yeah, the input is great, right? But you got to do them reps, man. You got to get your finger exercises in now. I feel like you got to.
Your hands were hurting a little bit, right? The first day using it.
Yeah, but I looked up proper placement technique. It is a thing when you're using a fight stick.
Yes.
Like I was kind of all over the place. I wish the camera could kind of like, if I could just get it in there.
Yeah. Oh, that looks
Hold
nice
on.
too, man. It actually looks really nice. And which For our
But like,
audience, which one did you end up going with? Because for those of you guys who don't know, like there's a plethora of different kind of arcade sticks to go with and many different choices. Like, which one did you ultimately land on?
oh man, I have to pull it up. It's one of Street Fighter Six's first personal like fight sticks.
Oh,
For
okay,
it's specifically for PC and
nice.
PC, and you could use it on your Series X.
Oh, okay, see
So
that's nice
I
too.
believe it's a Microsoft Fight Stick. I want to say it's what's the name of it? Because I can pull it up real quick. Um, it's very heavy. It's really heavier than what I thought because it looked like it was going to be light.
Yeah, pretty nice quality one. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And also, what's cool about this is it is totally customizable. So you can take it apart. You can switch out the buttons if you want to.
yeah.
You could change the your fight stick and the actual what is the thing inside of the fight stick? It's like the square, then it's the
Oh,
circle.
the
Um,
these this I forget what it's called, but yeah, you can do like a square or octagonal.
yeah, I'm switching
Yeah,
mine. Right now it's a square.
the square gate, I think is what it's
So
called.
like, yeah, like once again, our audio viewers not might not be able to see this, but like you see how it's going in a square.
Yeah, so it makes those quarter
Yeah.
circle moves a little bit tougher. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to switch that out so it's like a circle.
See, and me, me playing, and I'm sure you can kind of attest
Zangief.
to this. Yeah, you playing like a grappler as well. It's easier, and it's a lot more comfortable to have that octagonal. So basically, what we're trying to say, guys, is the square stick that he has now can only go in four directions comfortably, but with the octagonal, you can go in eight. So you can essentially make a easier circle, which is pretty important.
Quarter circle, like
Yes.
just think of it as with Ryu's Ryu or Ken, like anyone who have a projectile who
Yeah.
moves or like quarter circle and punch or something, it'll
Yeah.
make it easier. So I will be replacing that. But as a whole, it's a very well crafted fight stick. I've had one, two, three. I've had three fight sticks. One I built myself. I think that's the one I gave you.
Yeah, I
And
got
I think,
I'm still trying to figure out how to get it to power on. I'm not sure what's. I feel like I just need to open it up and take a look at some of the wiring in it because I personally enjoy. Um, y'all sound like a thesaurus. Hey man, these fighting game terms get real technical, so I try to make it easy. A circle. Octagon. Think octagon like eight. Eight eight sides. Excuse me. I
hey,
can't think for a second.
can we get somebody to ban Tina? Can we get somebody? No, I'm joking.
Oh man, the
She's so
fedoras.
she said the shape of a fedora. Oh my
Yes,
God.
yes, the shape of a hat. Yes. But yeah, man, I'm glad you're enjoying it because I know you
But
had
check this out
a
though.
training session with the homie, man.
Oh my God. If you so like you have to learn your hand placements.
Yeah,
And it's like weird for me right now because to be accurate and outclass someone, so to speak, a second is a mighty long time. So if you like taking one hand and you're going all the way over here and pressing another button,
right.
you got to learn your hand formations. And then like I learned how to hold the actual analog stick to where my hand it's weird. It's hard to explain, but for those who are listening and they play fighting games and use a fight stick,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm pretty sure they know exactly what I'm talking
Let me
about.
let
Because
me
you,
ask you, how do you
it's like,
hold? Do you hold your arcade stick like the actual analog stick with your fingertips, or do you hold it like in between your fingers? Because I know people who do both.
well, from what I learned, because I was on some really weird type of time. So, like, I'll show you again, yet again. I'm sorry, audio listeners, but you can check it out on YouTube if you want to see me looking crazy right now. Like, I was doing all kinds of weird stuff like this, and I was trying to get a feel for
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But then, like, I learned that you just like rest your hand,
Yeah,
like, kind of right here, and then you take these two fingers and your thumb.
I was just gonna
You
say,
take these
yeah,
two fingers and your thumb, and you're kind of like
yeah.
doing this, like bam, bam. You know what I'm saying?
That's how
Like,
I kind of
because at
play. Yeah, I
first
was gonna say
I was all like this.
you're just trying to
I was
figure it
doing
out.
all kinds of stuff. I was like, but yeah, you want to rest your hands right here. Then you just these two go to bam, and you're just kind of
Nice.
like that.
Okay. Nice, man. I'm glad you ended up investing in it because I know that was something you said you were definitely looking to do. So I'm curious. We'll check in with you in a couple weeks because I want to see how you get. When you get some ranked games in, play some other people because I know you play Dark Star, our homie Dre.
We played the first to 50, and I won one game.
Hey, hey. At least you got one off of him, man, because he's not an easy person to play.
No, 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 no. See, let me explain to y'all. You get that one early, and then Dre, he always does this thing. He said, okay.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. And then, because Dre is not going to take it easy on you at all.
No.
He does not care.
He won't. No.
He's going to brutally, he reads you, and then he's going to punish you. And I felt like, but I mean, a lot of good came out of that because I did take notes. I literally was sitting there taking notes on my notepad. Like, okay, you need to learn to be a little bit more unpredictable because you kind of fall, like what I would do is fall into patterns where I'm kind of doing the same thing and he's like reading it.
Yeah.
And it's just stuff like that. So I took notes and we're probably going to run it back probably today. Well, no, I don't want to run it today because I'm still getting used to my fight stick. So we probably
try to get some more. You want to get some more practice in, yeah, for sure. Yeah, man.
I want to. Yeah,
that's awesome.
But it's cool, man. It's definitely dope. I enjoy it. I love it. I'm loving Street Fighter. This is probably like the most I've ever put myself out there when it comes to playing fighting games.
Yeah.
Since Street Fighter 4. So we'll see, man. And speaking of fighting games, hey, that Tekken what is it? That beta just
the Tekken 8 network test was this week. I forgot all about that. I definitely didn't sign up. Man, a lot of people gonna get mad when I say this, man. I'm not the biggest fan of Tekken. I liked to play it when I was younger, but when I can't wrap my brain around how to play 3D fighters well. I think it's the thing. Like I don't understand how people play and dodge and move and stuff in 3D fighting games. It's hard for me to just wrap my head around it, so I never really invested the time into it. But yeah, it did come out. I think there was a Mortal Kombat one too the other weekend.
I think the Mortal Kombat. Right. Oh no, I'm mixing that up with Spider-Man. Spider-Man had a story trailer drop. There's been some.
It did. Don't watch it if you don't want spoilers, chat. By the way, I ruined something for myself, and I'm kind of mad at myself for watching it. Because I don't have any self-control when it comes to Spider-Man. So, I mean, you guys can see he's sitting right here above my shoulder here. I don't have any self-control. So I watched it. I ruined something, and I'm not watching any more promo for the game itself.
Because let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you feel like sometimes they do too much with the promo when it comes to like new games and stuff? Like, I understand that you have to build up a hype.
Yeah.
And you want to get people hype for your product, but do you feel like they give up too much sauce sometimes? Like
I think it depends on like the IP. So something like Spider-Man, I don't feel like necessarily needed. It was good up until a certain point in the trailer, and I don't want to say what it is. Like even if I hint what it is, people will figure it out. But there's a point that it basically confirms a theory that the wider internet has been kind of going off of that I agree with. But yeah, I think there's a good way to get people excited about a product without ruining like huge story beats. Perfect example, right. You mentioned the Spider-Man trailer. Armored Core 6 had a trailer as well that dropped. I want to say it was either yesterday or the day before. And Armored Core did a really great job of getting me very excited to play it without ruining any type of like huge story beats. Like it did a great job of like portraying the action, what you can kind of expect. But Spider-Man, a very story focused game, I think should be careful about those type of trailers because, like I said, it kind of ruined something for me a little bit. And I now I'm going to go fucking radio silent on it. And I think honestly, the only reason it had the trailer was because they announced that limited edition PS5 Spider-Man PlayStation 5, which looks absolutely incredible. I don't know if you've seen it. It's like red and it has like the Spider-Man logo on the side. Like it looks pretty sick. But
the PlayStation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
After I just bought mine, I could have waited and had a cool one. Yeah, I'm a little upset.
I'm almost certain that thing's gonna sell out pretty quickly and gonna go for whatever. It's gonna go for above market price if anyone resells that. But yeah, I kind of agree with you, man. Like even with like movies and stuff and TV shows, you have to kind of be careful, especially nowadays, because and I think it kind of attributes to there being so much media for people to consume. So there's much more competition for shows and games and TV, than it used to be. So you kind of have to do more.
Right.
And I think that kind of, you kind of hit that point. And then you also have like, you could look at it this way too, because there was a trailer for the Marvels that came out, and we kind of talked about this offline. Like I'm really just kind of tired of like them MCU at this point.
Oh my God, hold on. I'd
And
never thought I would hear this out of your
yeah,
mouth.
man, like I haven't really watched much of anything. I think the last MCU show I watched earnestly, I think me and my wife watched it, was WandaVision, if I remember right. I think that was the last thing we kind of like that I was actually kind of excited to see. But yeah, man, I think there's just too much of it right now, and that you have to keep up with too many.
Oversaturated.
Yeah, because the Marvels, the movie, you have to have watched 3 different Disney Plus shows to know who the characters are in it, and not
I
many people are
always
gonna
thought
do that.
that
Yeah,
I always thought that was a bad idea. I've been saying it since Disney Plus dropped. Like
yeah,
when it first dropped as an app and they had all these shows lined up, I was not excited for none of them. And exactly what I thought was going to happen
yeah.
ended up happening, because you're not the only one saying this. There's a
No,
lot
no.
of people I know who are diehard Marvel fans who are saying like, "Yo, like it's too much to keep up with." Then the stuff that they coming out with seems really half-assed.
And I
Like
think,
it's not really that good. And then it's just like,
yeah,
that's why I keep saying I think DC. If I was DC, I would just make standalone movies. That's just me personally.
I don't think that's the issue. I think the problem is, and even like Disney CEO like Bob Iger and stuff kind of come out and said like, hey, we're gonna take a step back on creating so much of it. If you have a
Hmm.
good balance of stuff that comes out periodically, instead of doing like 4 shows a year, maybe take that down to maybe 2. And instead of like 3 to 4 movies a year, maybe reduce that to like 1. So that way it kind of feels a little bit special. Because you remember when we went to go see Avengers when it first came out in 2012, like that was like an event. That was a special hype event.
Getting out the movies at 3 o'clock,
Yeah, when you
definitely
had when
a
you had
event.
class at 8 a.m. and stuff. Yeah,
And in class, dying the next day. Yeah.
yeah. So, but I don't feel like superhero movies feel special anymore. And people have been tearing the Flash film up all over Twitter, rightfully so. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, the stuff that I've seen about Flash looks absolutely terrible. Like the movie looks awful, and that sucks. So I don't know if there needs to be like some sort of like renaissance when it comes to superhero movies.
Just why
Um,
DC can't get it right though? It's crazy.
I
Like,
think it's both sides, honestly. Like if we're being completely honest, I think it's both Marvel and DC. I would love to see more independent superhero movies. Like we've gotten a couple of them here and there. What was it? Gosh, was it Jackass or whatever? Kick Ass. You had that film that was really good. Kick Ass 1 and 2. The film the
Invincible.
Invincible, the film that what's his name was in as well. Will Smith. Hancock.
Blah, 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 blah.
Hancock. I thought those movies were okay. I thought they were pretty decent, but and it's
Mhm.
just like Tina in chat said, those fake babies in the Flash trailer. Like I think the CGI stuff is really heavy nowadays, and it doesn't look as good because honestly, man, they're pushing a lot of those VFX artists. Is like they're burning those people out, and there's been a lot of conversation about that as well. I mean, because this stuff isn't easy to make. For those of you guys who have no idea like what it takes to make like a 3D object look good, it's incredibly difficult to do that, and especially at the
Mhm.
scale that these movie
We
theaters and
not
stuff. But
quite there yet.
yeah, right, right. Like
So
it just yeah, Flash does it. It looks terrible, and like honestly, I don't know what the next thing I'm excited for when it comes to Marvel. Maybe Loki. I thought Loki was really good,
I
but
think people like Loki because they just like the character who plays Loki.
yeah, I mean the guy who
A
did
lot
yeah
of
the guy who
women
plays
love
Loki,
him.
he did a really good. I think it was a really good show too.
That dude's
Yeah,
apparently like a sex symbol. Girls love that
yeah,
dude.
I forget the actor's name, but shout out to that guy. But it was just it was just really tough, man, and we're gonna talk about like the SAG after strike and how that's kind of affecting Hollywood right now later on as well. But yeah, that was a really good question. Like I really have been kind of taking like a media break when it comes to MCU stuff, to be quite honest. Like I've honestly, me and the wife have been watching a lot more like grounded TV shows and stuff. The
It's a lot of good
Bear.
television out there.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, the strike is going to affect all of that.
it is. It is.
So I'm expecting Netflix and all these apps to actually. I think people are going to be just like watching a lot of old shows. I might even
Yeah.
get my Paramount back and go back on my Real World binge. Like,
We're gonna see
you
another
know.
rise in I think we're gonna see another rise in reality TV this generation
Oh
because
no,
of
no,
that.
no. They already said it. They already said it. They was like expect to see an unprecedented amount of reality TV. So yeah, we're gonna be in
Yeah.
that era again, and I mean, hopefully they
Actually,
bring
we
Real
can talk.
World
We
back.
might as well talk about it now. Fine. We're already talking about movies and TV shows. Yes, and people in chat are talking about the strike and stuff. So, for those of you guys who don't know what's going on, man, the Writers Guild and the Actors Guild SAG-AFTRA are both on strike. I believe I read this is the first time in like 60 or 70 years that both union-based organizations have gone on strike. So, I know a lot of people probably haven't been keeping up with this stuff, but let's be honest, 99% of us watch TV in some form or fashion, and this is going to affect everything on TV, minus the news and all that stuff. But any TV show, any movie that was in production, everything has basically been put on halt. And
Sitcoms, all that stuff.
sitcoms, yeah, anything you can think of, everything's gone has been put on hold. And the problem, I mean, it all comes back to money. That's really like the biggest crux of everything. And with the rise of like streaming shows and streaming sites, excuse me, that really has hit a lot of people. It's like how do you break that money up? How do you determine how much a single stream is worth? I mean, we kind of talked about it. When we talked about like the music stuff, and because you're pretty knowledgeable on like the whole music industry when it comes to streaming and how it's basically like pennies on the dollar. And a lot of even well-known actors and stuff have really kind of been standing up for their union mates, because the thing that most people don't understand, and I didn't know this either, um to be considered to meet, you have to meet a certain threshold in unions to get like health insurance and things like that. And it's for the SAG-AFTRA, and I think for the Writers Guild it's $26,000 a year.
Hmm.
Like 80% of the people in these unions don't even have that. They don't have health insurance because they can't hit that threshold because they don't work enough in the industry, or they don't make enough money. Excuse me. Let me say it that way. And it's really crazy to see all this stuff going on, man. Like, how do you kind of feel about this whole situation? Because I know there's been this whole upheaval of, the studios are going to start targeting influencers and stuff to do campaigns and whatnot and to promote stuff. And then, maybe even to start acting in things like, I think this is going to have like a pretty big effect.
Well, we have to. What I was telling folks at my job the other day is we have to really back the actors and actresses because a lot of people have a really bad, they have like this, oh, well, they get paid millions of dollars for movies anyway. Who cares? And blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, if you look up some of the reasons why they are striking, is going to have a trickle effect into real life. Like people who are working 9 to 5 jobs or whatever the case may be,
Yeah.
because a lot of this is out of concern of how are we combating AI and how are we going to get paid?
Right. Right.
So a lot of that can fold over into regular life because you got to think, you know, they just had it the other day where they're trying to push all these laws in Congress to regulate AI to a certain extent to where companies can't misuse it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, like, well, why? Prime example, I'll take myself for prime example. I'm a graphic design artist, right? My job is to create whatever the client needs for whatever they need, whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
What if my job just told me, hey, DC, we don't need you anymore? They have an AI program that, the client could just put in pretty much what he wants and then the AI can create it. So my job is gone,
That's
right?
scary, man. Yeah, that's very
So
scary.
this is basically bigger than just, actors striking because they want more money, or like people are so misinformed on what's actually happening that they don't realize that this can trickle down and affect your life. Like we need to stand side by side with them because a lot of this
Yeah,
AI streaming, like these shows, like you said, shows are streaming. We don't know how much the actor or the crew who worked on this should be getting paid from a stream. This is the same thing that we talked about in the music industry. You gotta to make $30,000. You gotta what stream a billion times. Like it's like the numbers. Even you know, God, what's his name? Snoop was talking about it. He was like,
yeah,
"Hey, man, that's why he took the whole Death Row catalog off of all the streaming sites. He took all his stuff when he bought Death Row. He took the whole everybody's catalog and took it off, and then he was like, "I'm not putting it back on until we figure out how much is a fair shake at what we should be getting per stream."
right.
And it never is going to favor the artist or the actor or actress. It's always like it's these crumbs. Like a lot of actors, you think like on especially like sitcoms, right? A
Yeah.
lot of these actors, man, they living from check to check.
Hmm.
Like it's crazy. Like if you like I think it was I want to say it was the guy off Insecure.
Yeah.
I have to look it up. I can't remember. No, he was like, man, like I basically like have to take like a regular job, another job, and this and that between movies because you think we'll be getting like a consistent flow of money in because everybody watches this show on HBO, right? It's always like up there, but HBO gets all the money, and it's weird. It's a very
And it goes to like very few executives too,
yeah,
which is
yeah,
pretty
but the
crazy.
executives they get the bigger piece of that pie.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And the actors in them are at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to that. Like, and that's where the strike comes in. That's part of the reason. Like, there's several different reasons why the strike is happening, and these like AI and streaming are just one of the things. I believe something is like medical. It's a whole bunch going
Yeah,
on to where
like I said, that 26,000, you have to hit this certain threshold in order to afford health insurance. And it's just like you said, a lot of people think that just because you're an actor, you're automatically like a millionaire or even a thousandaire. You're making six figures or whatever, and that's just not the case for a lot of these people. I mean, there's been so many
a whole
actors and
lot.
actresses that have come out showing their residual checks from shows, like very popular, very well known shows, that they get literally pennies sometimes, or 10, $15. And
Yeah.
like they're not making any money off this. And the thing that is just like, Tina was joking about iRobot. Like it's actually like there was this whole thing I saw where they were trying to convince the actors to sign something so they could use their likeness even after they're dead. So, but you would only get paid essentially for one day, whatever that wage, you know, calculation is for that particular person. That's all they would get paid.
Yeah. And it's crazy now because it's like now people got to figure out a way. Pretty much you have to pretty much trademark your likeness because
You
of
do.
AI.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like there's no rules or regulations stating that you can't do that.
Yeah.
And that's some of the stuff that they're pushing for within this strike. Like you could literally like you can take people voices now. You could take their image. They're literally their image.
It's
And you
easy to
can
do. Like it's scary how easy it is for AI to replicate pretty much
you
like perfectly the person that, yeah, like it's. And I know we all, people are laughing at like the president's playing Call of Duty, ha ha ha, it's so funny and stuff. And while it is in the moment, like this stuff
well
is
think
gonna touch
about
like every industry. I mean, you're talking about Walmart even came out and said that they're going to be hiring less people as they focus more of their money and development into AI, because you walk into a grocery store now, What do you see more of nowadays than anything?
Self checkout.
Self checkout. Every single store has them nowadays.
And think about it. Why pay a person and then you got to insure that person? It's like, and this is what this is where the regulations come from that they're trying to pass in Congress, because it's like, well, think about it. If Walmart stopped hiring less people, that's what essentially what 100 something people who's not going to have a job. Like the numbers are going to get real wild if there's not checks and balances put in place for AI. And for like another example, damn, it was some. Oh yeah. You think it's bad now? Wait until the presidential election.
Oh man, we're in the.
Misinformation,
I was just about to say
misinformation
that.
everywhere.
Yeah, it's scary, man. We really are at this point. I think in the age of misinformation, and you can't even really say, okay, let me check my sources when you Google something and you don't even get the actual answer that you're looking for, and it's gonna be a scary time around here
Oh, it's
when
going to be even bigger, Weenie, when election come around, when people get real manipulative, and
yeah
man, it's going to be with AI. Just imagine you could just we're going to have to we're going to really have to get up off our asses and really dig for information to make sure that whatever we're hearing or seeing is correct.
yeah
Because let's just say if you want to slander a specific person who's running, and you got an AI commercial of him saying something crazy on YouTube.
I eat
You know what I'm
babies. You
saying?
have Joe Biden saying, "Oh, I love babies." He's
No, I
actually like,
don't.
I don't know.
It won't be that extreme, but they'll slightly say something that'll get another base
Group,
of people
yeah.
wild. It's gonna be nasty. So it's like we really, really, really have to take what's going on in Hollywood serious. I know it may not directly
hmm
affect us unless you know someone or family member is an actor, but we have to watch that. We really, really, really have to pay attention to what's going on right now. We didn't even say like what would happen if all that leaks into the gaming industry, because you got to think about it. Gaming and acting kind of coincide with each other at this point. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
it could be the same
So
thing. Like, what if?
think about this, Darius. Hold on,
Yeah, yeah.
I
Go
got,
ahead. Yeah, yeah. You good.
think about this, Darius. What do people do in video games that get them paid? Voice actors.
Yep,
What if you had AI just doing that now?
that's
Hey, we
true.
don't need people. We could just use AI. Like, why go hire somebody? We got to insure and all this stuff. And we could just get AI to be our new voice actors. Bam, whole bunch of people out of a job.
Or Sony decides to pay the guy who plays Kratos. Hey, we want to scan your likeness just in case we want to use it for later on. You know, just like you said, you already have recordings of his voice. They could just upload the voice file into an AI pattern, and it replicates it perfectly, man. Like it's nuts. And
Mm-hmm.
it's so I know a lot of people, like I said, especially when it comes to influencers and stuff, they're gonna be approaching people with money. They're gonna be approaching
Mm-hmm.
people with great this is a great idea. These are benefits for you. Just remember where you stand morally as a human. I know it's hard to turn money away. We're all in the business of trying to make money in life because that's the dice we rolled as humans. We were put on earth for capitalism and we're stuck in the system. But this is going, just like you said, like this is going to affect. I was just thinking about this earlier, man, because our youngest kid, Shaylin, she's going to be graduating high school next year, and she's coming into the world as this shit is picking up speed, and it's scary, like most college kids usually find like a retail job to work while they're in school, just to make a little
Mm-hmm.
extra money on the side, a little extra time. But who's to say in a couple years Walmart won't say, "Hey, we got a new AI program. We got a new self checkout program, guys. You can talk to this AI like it's a real person. You can scan your ID so you don't have to get a person to come over and scan it if you want to buy liquor or beer or something. You can just do this all at self checkout by yourself now."
Wasn't Amazon doing that with them stores? Remember they had them grocery stores or something that
Yeah.
they were
Oh yeah.
supposed to
Where
be
you
making?
pull, you take some off the shelf. It adds it to your Amazon cart. And when you walk through the
You just
door,
walk
it
out.
charges your card.
Yeah.
Yes.
People don't understand, man. It's a very, like I said, I just want y'all, if y'all listening to this, whoever's listening to this, besides subbing and liking, please, like, really, really involve yourself in what's going on because I'm already doing my research. I'm about to buck this shit. Like, I don't like it at all because
Yeah,
it's not even about me. It's about the people that when I'm dead and gone, like my
exactly.
nieces and nephews, like your kids, anybody in chat who has kids, they're gonna have to deal with this shit. So
Yes.
I'm fighting the power for something bigger than myself. Like man, I'll be down, what, in Atlanta or wherever if they're having any kind of sit-in, march, whatever, I'll be there because it's like we are on the cusp of self imploding right now. People don't really know how bad it's going to get within the next 10 years if we don't start getting active. Like,
Yeah.
we have to start getting active in situations like this because right now, I mean, shit, it's hard, man. It's hard for people just to live right now. Like, I see it every day. I talk to people at work. Like, people are tired, man. So, we got to get active on these things. We got to start,
Find ways
not to make
to
this
really
a,
support and really instill change. This is
yes,
why,
indeed.
shout out to DC because he's one of the few people I know that really trumpet, champion people going getting out and voting. Not just in the presidential election, but your local elections as well. We're not telling you which way to vote. We're not saying you should vote for one person over the other, but you have the ability to instill change even in your local communities down to who's the mayor of your county. Like, do people know
Right.
that the mayor of your city? Do people know who the mayor of their city is? Not just the capital city of your state, but the actual city you live in within that state. Like, these are things you should
It's a
know.
lot going on, and there's a site, right? Because I'm not perfect. Like,
Yeah.
the thing is, and I think it's like this by design, right? It's very, it's not easy. I'll be honest with you. The system can be very complicated when you start looking like in your county,
Yeah.
when you start breaking it down from like the governor to the mayor to the politicians in your direct county.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot to look up, and like before I go to the polls, like I tried to pull up. There's actually a site. I think it's like vote.org, and you could pull up like your state and all that. It'll show you who's on the ballot.
Yep.
It'll give you like their history. So say you look up this person and his interests don't align with yours. Like I said, we'll never tell you who to vote for. We just want you to go out there and be active. And sometimes I miss some stuff because it's always something going on. I'm not perfect. Like, if I was to like make it to every freaking poll, and man, like, it's work. But you gotta learn the system that you live in. That's what I always tell people. Just learn the system that you live in. Like, just don't be there just because a lot of people, like, they'll be complaining, and I'm like, I mean, you can kind of change this. Like, you could rally people together. You can do all types of stuff, man. And
Yeah.
going back to the AI, it's the same thing, man. Start learning how this stuff is going to affect your life. If you don't agree with it, then see what you can do to be active and actively make a change. Boom.
That's
There you go.
important, man. It's important stuff. Like, we just, like I said, so it's definitely not gonna be. I don't think this strike is gonna end anytime soon. So when you start to see your favorite shows not come around, don't get mad at the actors. Oh, why are they not
Right.
working? They're
Y'all
cheap.
got a show. Y'all got a show to replace all shows. And it's right here, baby. Right
We'll be here.
here.
We'll be here for the wave of new podcasts and reality TV shows. I'm sure that's gonna pop up all over streaming services. Hell,
Love us.
maybe people are start looking more at live streaming. Honestly, like, that's something I didn't think about either because the last strike, what was that, the early 2000s when that happened? It
Mm-hmm.
was like if I remember, it was a little over a year or something. Streaming wasn't really around. It wasn't around, so we'll see what happens with that. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
scary territory out here, man. And Tina, no, we can't AI jury duty. I don't want a robot judging me. I'll just be honest. I don't want no robot telling me that I'm guilty of
Hell
my. Yeah,
no.
no.
Hell
As
no.
much as we all hate jury duty, as much as we all hate it, I know guilty. They're not even gonna take 10 seconds to deliberate. Nah, you guilty. Get out of here.
Algorithms.
Right.
And I don't want no algorithms, especially in America. Hell no.
Yeah, heck no,
I'm
man.
guilty every time. Nope. Mm-mm.
Oh man, that's funny, man. But yeah, that's the strike stuff, man. We'll be covering it, as it kind of progresses.
We
You know,
stand by the strikees.
yes, if we didn't make that already clear, yeah, we stand on the picket line with those people, even if in spirit, and there are ways to support the people that aren't working because they're not getting paid right now, and everybody has bills and mortgages and stuff. I mean, shout out to Anderson, one of our community members. He works in the film industry up in Canada. The last time I
Mm-hmm.
spoke to him, he even mentioned that he was, looking for other work. So, I wish everybody the best in those situations, man. But
All right, Anderson. Yeah, my brother. I totally forgot Andy was in the film industry.
yeah, yep.
I
He
hope you bounce back, man. I hope you
he is
just
worried
find
as
some
they all
stable
are,
work.
man. Yeah, so hopefully
Mm-hmm.
that'll turn around for everyone. But let's talk about something a little bit more lighthearted, man. I know we got a little dark there in the beginning. I think it's a good time to talk about Xbox, and they're discontinuing a program, man, which has been rumored for a while. I'm pretty sad to see it go, to be honest, man. And that's the end of Game Pass. I mean, not Game Pass. That's the end of Xbox Live Gold, man. So after 20 some odd years,
But is
uh,
it really gone?
it's showing up in a different form, and they're focusing more
Yeah.
on Game Pass. But Xbox Live Gold, as it stands, will no longer exist starting September 14th, and they're replacing it. They have a new plan for Game Pass. So this is, Microsoft already slapped Sony on the butt and the FTC on the butt in the trial, and so now I think they think this is a perfect time to introduce these new plans. So they have a core plan, which is just for online multiplayer. It's $10 a month, just like Xbox Live Gold was. You don't get access to Game Pass. You get access to 25 games on console, and you get member deals and discounts, whatever the hell that means. Then you have the 1099 version, which is $1 more, which gives you access to Game Pass and games that release on Game Pass day one. Then you have the PC, just PC on itself, which is just $9.99. So you don't, if you're just a PC gamer, you don't have an Xbox console, which I'm sure a lot of people don't. This is a good option to have as well. You also get EA Play on PC as well. Then of course you have the Xbox Live Ultimate or the Xbox Game
Mm-hmm.
Pass Ultimate, which is $16.99.
So did it just like kind of merge into Game Pass
Pretty
or
much, yeah. So they
yeah.
basically, and it's because you remember, you were one of the few people I know that would download Xbox Live games with gold every so
Oh yeah, I
often.
used to get all them boy. I used to get all
Yeah.
them joints. They still in
So
my library too.
right. So that's gone. And honestly, like, I don't really miss that because some of those games are pretty bad. Let's just be honest. They weren't like the best games. But the 25 you're getting, I have a list in front of me. I could read these real quick. It's going to be Among Us, something called Descenders, Dishonored 2, Doom Eternal, Fable Anniversary, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5, Grounded, Halo 5 Guardians, Halo Wars 2, Hellblade 1, Human Fall Flat, Inside, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Psychonauts 2, State of Decay, and Elder Scrolls Online. Which I think this is a much better selection than just a random game that nobody would probably ever play. Like, this gives you a little bit of everything here. And I'm honestly glad to see that they are focusing more on Game Pass. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is something that they had in store even before they were talking about acquiring Activision. But as of course, like I mentioned, that Xbox Live, the Game Pass Ultimate is going up $1 to $16.99 per month, which is pretty substantial. I mean, how do you kind of feel about it, man? Are you gonna miss Xbox Live Gold? Because that was really like the
My
first
jam?
that was really like the first console based subscription service that really took off.
Well,
Being a OG Xbox day one owner
hmm.
yourself.
I kind of knew this was coming because it only makes sense in a way, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this just feels like to me, it just feels like a part of Xbox history. So, like millions of other things that we've seen come and go, or that's just been a part of Xbox illustrious history, like Halo. Gonna talk about that in a minute. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say that I'm just like floored, you know what I'm saying? Because I felt like this is only like natural progression with
Yeah.
Xbox. But I mean, I do have memories of like it's so old. I remember like
Yeah, it is.
I mean with like Halo 2, like it's old. Because remember you had to get that to get
Yeah,
online.
they, yeah.
Like,
When they introduced Xbox Live parties and everything, like it was.
yeah, it has history. Now that I think about it, now I am a little sad
Hmm. Hmm.
because it's tied to a lot of memories. Like I just remember way back in the day, you got your gold and besides like the free games because you needed it for the whole online experience. And at the time, Microsoft and Xbox was like leading the forefront because people don't remember how amazing the Xbox 360 online was compared to PlayStation. All the ponies are going to attack me, but
Uh,
PlayStation was boo boo online. Like, remember PlayStation 2? Like, it was like,
you had to have and then
yeah,
you had to have like a special adapter
it
for
was
the
a lot
PlayStation
going
2.
on with
Yeah,
PlayStation. It was a lot going on with PlayStation. And I think if you want to call it a console war, I think that was very innovative of Xbox and it kind of catapulted them with um the first person shooters and stuff online. It kind of
hmm,
pushed the Xbox 360 ahead. But yeah, man. Yeah, now that I think about it, it does kind of make me sad a little bit to see it go. But it really ain't went anywhere. It kind of just got sucked into the Game Pass vacuum.
yeah.
It just got sucked in and it's merged with Ultra Pass. That's what I'm about to start calling it now. Like,
Honestly,
and
like, the only thing I don't like about it, not to cut you off, the only thing I don't like about it is this core, this 9.99 version. I
I
feel
don't
like
think they should do. Yeah, I'm with you.
if you're gonna if you want people to get game, I feel like this is just like a one of those things that they do with prices in stores where you tell
He's trying to take.
you
He's trying to take the.
that
What do you call it?
psychological sell, yeah,
Yeah,
marketing thing that they do in stores that make you think, oh, 10.99 is not that bad.
like Black Friday, where they mark the prices up just to say
Yeah,
it's a sale and
and
put the original
it
price.
just sucks, man. And to be honest with you, man, like I honestly don't know why consoles, PlayStation and Xbox, are even charging people to play online because you don't get charged to play online on PC when you think about it. Like unless you're playing like a MMO or something, but you don't have to pay a subscription to play with your friends online. And this just I think the core they should have just kept it the three options
Hmm.
personally because I just don't see the reasoning behind this. Like just give them access to Game Pass. That way you get every quarter or whatever when you report to your investors, you'd be like, hey, we have another 20 million people that signed up for the console Game Pass subscription instead of just because this just doesn't make sense in my brain here. Like I understand you want to give people games, like maybe they'll switch out the 25 games every so often, but that begs the question is like, will they lose access to those games once they're off of this 25 game list? Because the core, you don't have access to Game Pass whatsoever. You just have access to the 25. I think this is stupid. Me
Well, with
personally.
them, like I, I, yeah, I agree. I agree. Like it's almost like I said, it's like trickery. It's just kind of like this
Price is finagling with
it's
prices.
this soften the blow approach of,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
we're gonna do it, but you have this option, which is probably a poor choice.
Right.
Which no one, I guarantee you, if you do percentages on this in about 3 to 4 months, no one, you're not gonna have too many people using that option because it's like I could add $7 more on or whatever, and I could just get the whole, what is it, the whole enchilada?
Yeah,
Or, I don't
it's
know.
literally $1 difference. And with how they market Game Pass on the Xbox dashboard, it's
Yeah.
just like I don't see why anyone, I mean, obviously outside of people who can afford it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I don't see why anybody would go for this core option. Just make online multiplayer free for people. Like I don't understand why we're still charging for that in 2023 with PlayStation and Xbox because you have to pay at least $10 if I remember right, and whatever the cheapest plan is for the PlayStation Plus program to play online.
This this is gonna sound so bad and elitist as hell. I can't even tell you. I don't even remember the last time like I paid for my Game Pass. Like I've had Game Pass for so long.
Right, right.
I just know I can get on my Xbox and I can play and do whatever I want.
You can just play the games where they're
I've
they're there.
literally had Game Pass since like 2006, 2004, something like that. Whenever Game Pass started,
You mean like
I had
2018,
it.
but yeah. Oh, you mean like that, just like the online
No, like
functionality? Yeah.
even like gold. I mean, talk
Ye-
about like all the way back to
Oh,
gold
gotcha. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
until it went to like when Game Pass came
And then you
out,
upgraded
all
to
that.
that.
Like I don't even know what I pay anymore. They could be charged to be like $79, $200 a year, whatever. I don't even know. Like that shit
Uh,
don't even come up on my bank statements. Like, I don't know what I pay for this stuff. I really need to check that out. That's bad
you're probably
behavior.
getting
Like
overcharged today. You don't even realize it. But yeah, man, I
they
just
probably robbing my ass.
you probably paying like a yearly service, don't even fucking know it. But
I'm
yeah,
gonna check that today.
this is just I don't know. Like I'm just like you said. Like I think it was time for Xbox Live Gold to go away. You know, especially with them focusing on Game Pass. Like I just think if you guys are interested in doing this, get the console. If you're not gonna play anything on PC, get the 1099 version if you can afford it. This is just a better deal. Instead of 25 games, you get literally hundreds at your fingertips. And of course, you get those games on day one. Your Starfields, your Forzas, your Fables, State of Decay 3, whatever. Like whenever these games come out, you'll start seeing the value for that back. I think a lot sooner. But I personally think the core is this is just a ploy. This is just this is them trying to soften the blow, like you said, for people who don't want to pay $1 more
Right.
to play online. And maybe if they got rid of this online console multiplayer, like charging people for that, then they could get rid of this. I think that's just Xbox trying to play both sides of the fence, and I don't like it. I don't.
At all. At all.
It's pretty trash of them, man. What was there? There was one last thing before we get up out of here, man. I want to give a
Did
shout
you
out.
remember it?
Yeah, I did, man. I want to give a shout out to Major Nelson, man. Larry Herb is leaving Xbox after 20 years. He has announced that he is leaving the company and going to take some time to figure out what he's going to do next, man. I'm pretty sad about Major Nelson leaving because he was one of the first people that I felt like was really like a brand face for Xbox back in the day. He actually worked. He was actually the programming director for Xbox Live Network too, for quite a few years. He's just a storied guy who's been around, man. I don't know if you ever really like kept up with Major Nelson. I used to watch all his like YouTube videos and stuff, listen to the Xbox podcast back in the day. It's pretty sad to see like some of the big names really just like moving on, man. Wish him the best though. Like this was a pretty big surprise for me.
For sure. I'm not familiar with his work, but I definitely check it out now.
Yeah, man. You've probably come across him before. Like I said, he's been around Xbox for quite a while. And he's been with the company since like 2006 or something. He's been there for a while. But shout out to Major Nelson, man. That's just the last thing I wanted to do.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah,
For sure.
yep.
Awesome episode.
Yeah, man. I think that's a good place to wrap her up, man. Don't trust the robots, guys. That's the last thing I gotta say, man. AI
Fight the power.
is crazy out here, man. And if you get a visit from Arnold wearing some shades and some leather, man, you know what time it is. It's time to go. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out, man, for episode 161 of the Super Weapon Podcast, man. As always, man, make sure you guys are checking out the YouTube. I'm gonna say it every episode. I'm gonna mention it every fucking episode, man. I'm tired of
They're
playing
doing a
with
little bit
y'all.
better. They're doing a little bit
You
better.
guys are. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit here, man. You guys are doing great. Once again, shout out to DC for just pumping out the content over there, man. This guy's been working sun up to sundown pretty much 7 days a week to get this stuff out, man. And it's great content over there, man. We got some more plans. We got some more stuff coming down the pipeline for the YouTube and for Super Weapon in general. You guys can find me everywhere. Darius the Artist on Twitter. Darius the Artist where E is a 3. Come hang out with your boy, man. I've been playing Skyrim. Somebody tried to get me killed last night. I had a bounty on my head, and some dudes came to see about me, but I got them up out of here, man. I've been having a blast playing it, and I appreciate you guys, man. I'm gonna give DC the floor, man. We're gonna get up out of here.
Yeah, I got quite a few things to say. Speaking of bounties on my head, someone's trying to put a fedora on my head, but I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to talk to them offline because a lot of people been misbehaving when I haven't been around. You guys are awesome. Avi, and don't you say nothing. You are two
we're gonna get
steps.
DC a fedora, guys. He's gonna wear it on the podcast.
First of all, let me tell you something. If you find a fedora to fit this big ass head, I will wear it. And yes, he's gonna say, "Oh, but he's just gonna lean into it because I know him." And you're right. I'm not gonna fight it. Find a fedora to fit this big ass head, and I'm in there. Let's go. Let's do it. Dora DC is what they call it.
Oh my fucking
Anyway.
god.
Anyway, don't make me laugh. All right. First of all, I want to give a. I just want to throw some few things out there. Hey, Chick-fil-A, stop having your people working outside when it's 101 degrees. They be out there. They be out there looking like rotisserie chicken, boy. Yeah, it's bad. I don't know. I just saw that the other day, and I was like, y'all going to hell for that. Big shout out to my man Jamie Foxx though, dropping a video. My boy is back, man. You know, we take life for granted sometimes, man. It's you could be here today, gone tomorrow, man. I love you guys. I just want to say that, man. Like, life is not guaranteed, man. And speaking of, that correlates to me and my health. I just want to have a moment of transparency. I went to the doctor yesterday, and my blood pressure is doing better.
Yeah, heck yeah,
It's been something I've been working on in the shadows. I didn't tell too many people, but we're all family here. So I had a little high blood pressure. They said it's probably stress and probably the fact that I eat like Gregory the freaking goat, but I'm working on it. It's been 3 months. I went back to the doctor yesterday to get it checked out, and they said that I am making progress in the right direction.
Awesome.
It's went down a little bit. They want me to take it down some more. So I got my H2O. I'm gonna get my workout in today before I get too hot. I'll probably hit the trail. You know, I'm working on my health here, man. Health is wealth, baby. Can't have the greatest
awesome,
podcast in the world. We can't build the empire if I'm not here. So that's all I got to say. You guys have a great Saturday. We're going to turn up. I don't know what Darius is about to do, but I'm probably going to be around for it because my nephew didn't call me. And shout out to my nephew whose birthday just passed. He's an old man now.
Yeah, so, young man.
Yeah, shout out to my nephew Rashad. His birthday was Tuesday. And big shout out to my stepfather whose birthday is coming up. On the 31st, he'll be the big 70. He's an OG gamer, old school gamer. That's the OG gamer right there. He plays as many games as I do. And that's all I have, guys.
Awesome.
Have a good weekend.
Awesome, man. Yes, sir. You guys have a good one, man. We will catch you guys next weekend for some more Super Weapon Podcast, man. Hope you guys stay blessed and stay safe. See you later. Peace.